Okay, let's talk about packing. You get to take 2 bags on this trip. You get to take a large suitcase like this. In fact, this one is not maximum, but it's within a few inches of maximum, okay? So you'll get to take a suitcase this size or just a tad larger, total measurement of 62 inches. So you can figure that out for yourself, but you just don't go over 62 inches. And by the way, if you go larger than this, what we found is you go over weight. So having a suitcase this size is probably better for you anyway to stay inside the weight that you need to stay inside. So this is the one you check. This is the one you take on the plane with you. If you want to carry this, if you'd rather carry a backpack or some other kind of a carry-on, that's fine. But this is the maximum right here. Now, every year I get calls from somebody in the group and says, I just looked at my ticket and it says we're allowed to check 2 bags. Yes, it does, but you can't. Okay? The Delta allows it, or if you're flying US Air, they allow it, but we don't, because when we get there won't be room on the bus. You can take another bag, like a duffel bag, folded up inside this. And on the way home, you can check 2 bags, like with souvenirs and stuff. So you can check 2 coming back, but only 1 going over. And then this is your carry-on, and again, there's the size, and it's also in your handout. And 40 pounds or less is the weight that you can carry. You can, as I said, take another bag to check on the way home. A lot of people buy a bag over there. When we're in the old city, they sell suitcases and bags everywhere. So you can buy one for, $15 or $20 and then fill it with all your stuff and check it if you want. So however you prefer. And then I really encourage you to take another bag that you would pack inside one of your other bags. We use Amera bags. A number of years ago, somebody put us onto these. Place for your water bottle, place for your headset, everything. And they're so comfortable to carry. And I've carried this one for years now. They come in 2 different sizes, somewhere around $40 or so. Yeah, there's large and there's the medium size. And so these are really nice to carry. But if you already have something, you don't need to buy it. That's fine. Just take whatever you want. We found them to be wonderful. If you would rather wear a fanny pack or some other kind of a bag over your shoulder, it's fine. Anything you want. But I really want to encourage you to have your gear, your camera. If you have a smaller camera, your water, your book, your Bible, everything in one bag. So when we stop, you grab it and we go. You want that on the bus with you. This stuff will be under the bus. You won't have access to it during the day, but these bags you want on the bus with you so you can hop off with them and we can move quickly. You probably all know this, but the 311 TSA plan says, 3 ounces of anything, but you can put it in a one quart plastic bag, 1 per person to take on the plane. That's carry-on. Now, what you put in your check suitcase, that's different, but this is carry-on, and you probably all understand that, so I won't say more. Now, essentials, obviously, you've got to have your passport, and when we arrive here the day to leave, particularly the Emmanuel group, and you'll do the same, Deb, down there, but the first thing we do is, before we get on the bus is, do you have your passport? And pastors, I don't have a chance to double check with you, but please check that you have it, although probably even get on the first plane, you'll have to have it anyway, so that shouldn't be a problem. Money, U.S. money is fine. In fact, they prefer that you spend dollars over there to shekels. You'll get better deals with dollars. I would take probably 50 singles just because you'll want it for water bottles. You'll want it for little trinket kind of things you'll see that you'll want to buy. I buy a lot of stuff for teaching over there. And oftentimes it turns out that there'll be just $2 or $3 for things that I want. And so instead of trying to get change back or whatever, I just take plenty of singles. Credit cards are accepted everywhere. Almost everything you buy you can pay with a credit card. Including some of your lunches. Most lunch places will take it as well. So you don't have to take a lot of cash, but maybe a couple $100 a person just to be safe. And again, singles is wise. I always think it's good to take another form of photo ID just in case, so maybe carry your driver's license as well. I've given you a packing list on that handout I've given you. That packing list has all of these things. I'll comment on a few things. Because we are there in the spring and the rainy season and the cooler season, shorts probably won't be comfortable except for 2 days. The day we drive south and the day we're in the south. Jerusalem is 3,000 feet above sea level. It's always cool. So you probably won't want shorts anywhere except maybe possibly 2 days. And even those 2 days I think are iffy. The day we're on top of Mount Masada, you may want to climb down. And we're not going to allow you to climb up. pastor's, by the way, the pastor's itinerary that they gave you in that little blue packet is wrong. They have us going home one day and then going to Jerusalem the next day. So make sure you see that, notice that. The other thing they say is we're going to give you time to climb up. We're not. So don't get that in your heads. We're going to try to get there together. We'll ride up the cable car together. And then you can walk down if you want. And walk down will take you, well, it took one Eric Emmerich, I think, 18 minutes. He was the record. It'll take most of you 45 minutes, and then your legs will hurt for 3 days. But it's still, if you want to do it, you're welcome to do it. I told you about cover-ups, guys, just the same as gals when it comes to shorts. If you're wearing shorts and we go to a Catholic church or an Arab site, you got to cover your legs. So you'll need something to pull on as well. Jogging pants are fine. Jewelry, be really careful with your jewelry. Just don't take good stuff. If you can, if you leave stuff here, take an old watch that you normally wouldn't wear, so forth. I just think it's probably wiser. Bathing suit, you'll probably have several opportunities to use. I've already talked to you about walking in your shoes before. If you buy new shoes, fine, but walk in them before you go. Make sure they're broken in. I have a pair of walking shoes that I've worn for probably 10 years there, and they're like they're sneakers or walking shoes, sneakers, tennis shoes, and that's what I wear almost all the time. So you'll probably need one pair of shoes and flip-flops. Now, some of you ladies, I know that's just appalling to think of one pair of shoes, so you can work out how you want to do it. But for guys, a pair of shoes and a pair of flip-flops, probably about all you'll need. You'll probably be fine. Jacket you'll need, obviously these things you can take care of. Hair dryer, I said, almost every place will have them for you. Prescriptions in original container, you know that. Once we get there, you can move them, but to fly over, you need to have them in original container. Washcloths, European countries, including Israel, don't provide them. So if you use a washcloth, if you want a washcloth, or you want those hand mitts or something, take that along because you won't have washcloths there. Don't worry about the batteries. We're going to talk about how we're going to handle the batteries later. You will want a set of headphones. If you're taking an iPod or something anyway, you'll want that. But you'll want either headphones or an earbud or earbuds for the headset we give you. And it's just best to use the same headsets. No use taking two. So we'll give you a little headset that just takes the regular plug for headphones or earbuds. And again, it only comes through one side, so I always leave one side just hang and put the one earbud in. That way you can hear the guide speak or you can hear me. Distance to hear them is not very far. We're talking 50, 75 feet probably. It's line of sight, so if you can't see the guide, you probably won't hear him. But what's really nice is you don't have to be looking at him or next to him to hear him. You can be at a distance taking pictures and you'll still be able to hear every word he says. So take along some kind of we won't provide for you headsets unless you ask. We have some, but unless you ask us, we won't provide those. We'll just assume you'll bring them. These things are pretty common. Oh, support hose for the flight. I used to make fun of those until I wore them one year, and then it was like, wow, I'll wear those every year. I wear the support hose that go up to my knee. I wear man socks over them just because it makes me feel better. But support hose on that flight are well worth it. It just helps your circulation. So if you haven't purchased them yet, I just say that's a must buy. In my opinion, that's something you want to get. Motion sickness medication. For the most part in Israel, you'll be fine on the bus. But if you're prone to motion sickness, there's a couple days where we do a lot of this kind of stuff, and so you might want to be prepared. And we'll tell you the day before to take your motion sickness medication, just to remind you. Electronics, you'll take care of all that. Just remind you to get your chargers for all of the things you take, your iPhone, your iPod, if you take along any kind of game or your camera, bring all your chargers with you. And I've already said, in your bag every day, you'll want to have your camera handy, your Bible notebook. You all receive a notebook like this. Inside it is a description of all the sites. When we go to a site, I'll tell you to turn to page so-and-so. There's a place for you to see what's going on, a place to take notes. There's lists of songs that we sing in the back, the lyrics. There's maps and so forth. And so we'll provide this for you. You'll probably want to have it with you every time you hop off the bus because that's where you'll probably keep your journal or write down the things. We'll give you plenty of extra paper for that. Audio receiver, your headphones. Guys, head coverings. Anytime we go into a synagogue, we've got to cover heads. Kind of backwards, or it seems funny.